is Jose Guevara. I'm a student at Cal State LA. I'm here to resist today because I'm an undocumented migrant from El Salvador, came out as gay at the age of 14, and battled leukemia since I was 15.
When I was in high school, I started fainting a lot. They didn't really know what it was. The third episode I had, my mom decided to take me to Children's Hospital for a regular checkup. I went through emergency, and that day I was diagnosed with leukemia. That same day I was kept inpatient, and I didn't come out of there till a year later. But it did not last long, as I got re-diagnosed at 18, and then I got re-diagnosed before my 21st birthday and had a bone marrow transplant 2 years ago.
Yo lloraba con mi hijo cuando lo miraba en silla de ruedas. Él no podía caminar, él hubo un tiempo que no pudo caminar, como unos 3 meses, 2 meses. Fueron tantas cosas que es dificilísimo, la verdad. Que ahorita nos vemos y digo, wow, uno puede sobrevivir todo eso. Increíble se queda uno, todo lo que uno puede pasar.
It was a really, really tough time in my life, but it was also a time of resilience. And I really, really, really wanted to live. And I think that's what helped me thrive. And I think that's why it made it successful. And I'm now 2 years out and back in school and doing what I need to do.
¿Cómo describiría yo a mi hijo? Bueno, una persona muy luchadora, con ganas de vivir. Como mi hijo, no porque sea mi hijo, yo lo admiro mucho, porque a pesar de lo que a él, todo lo que le ha sucedido, sigue en pie, luchando, nunca se rinde. La verdad, mi hijo yo lo admiro mucho, es algo increíble, mi hijo.
Right now, I'm able to access healthcare because of my mom and her work, and I'm able to stay there till I'm 26. So it does give me a little bit of patience. And I mean, I was 21. Like, I was about to turn 21 when I was re-diagnosed, and that bone marrow needed to happen. And had I been like, okay, like, you're not eligible anymore, because I am forever going to be a person who has a pre-existing condition. That's the reality. But given that they can't discriminate against my pre-existing condition, they had to cover me, and my life was spare.
Over the past 7 years, Republicans in Congress have tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. Now, Republicans control the 3 branches of government. They've attempted to repeal this law, but with little success. So what's at stake? As of today, the Affordable Care Act is the law of the land. It has provided health coverage for many who could not afford it or were denied because of a health condition. Some key provisions of the ACA include insurance companies can no longer exclude people with pre-existing conditions, and parents can keep their adult children on their plans until they turn 26. In California, the ACA excludes an estimated 2.9 million undocumented immigrants, and even though Jose is undocumented, he can access healthcare through his mother's employer health plan. Without these protections, Jose's health would be severely impacted. Republicans are desperate to repeal Obamacare, and will also do anything to undermine it. Their attempts to rip away coverage from millions of people are real. Even though they haven't managed to repeal the law yet, the fight to protect healthcare is far from over.
I'm afraid that they might pass a bill that will repeal the Affordable Care Act, but I'm also hopeful. I've been in dark times. I've been where you think like there's no coming back, and I'm here today, so I can't lose hope.
Jose is a survivor in every sense of the word. Not just a survivor, but a success. He's a young man that started college with a lot of odds against him, with a lot of things that were not in his favor, such as his health. He was battling cancer at the time, he was battling leukemia. He was a young student who was being comfortable with himself as a gay young man, but I guess working in this environment where people have to understand other people's identities, so that's been a challenge. And then being undocumented. So you could say students such as him, there are many students that face many obstacles. Some people would say, oh, that's 3 strikes, how could you be successful? But with the right help and the right support, you can be successful, and he is a success story.
If you have DACA, we renew your DACA here. We help you fill out your DREAM Act. We help you do your, we do. If you're having place in math, we have math tutors here during the year, so they can help you. I currently am a full-time student at Cal State LA, and there I work as a peer mentor advisor in the Dreamers Resource Center. I started there in 2012. I was the first EOP hire that was documented. I work with students, making sure that they get into the EOP program, and as well as navigating the systems with the California DREAM Act, the affidavits, and I also work on elevating the voices of undocumented students, whether it be by outing myself or anybody else who feels safe to do it, about the importance of sanctuary schools, and make sure that the undocumented voice is represented when we talk about conversations of free higher ed in California. My goal would be to create policy that helps people with cancers or pre-existing conditions, regardless of citizen status. I would love to work on policy that would further that goal and pave the way for bills that are humane and only further us as a society.
¿Qué a dónde quiero ver a José? Bueno, ¿dónde no quiere ver a uno a los hijos? Bueno, primeramente graduado de la universidad. Me gustaría que sacara después de la universidad de su bachelor, otra carrera más, un máster. Yo siempre le digo, me encantaría que trabajara en el condado también, me fascinaría, pero pues solo Dios sabrá. Que él sea feliz también, como él sea, lo que él escoja para mí es una bendición, ¿me entiende? Tener a mi hijo ya es una bendición, que lo que él crea que le haga feliz a él, me hace feliz a mí.
This is all that I was sent home with. I just got discharged today. I've been sick for a couple of days, right? And I went to the ER to get treatment, and when I got in there, they're like, you have sinuses and all of this is blocking, and then you also have an ear infection. And that was their first notice. Then they're like, we're gonna admit you because you're in a lot of pain and we need to treat it. Normally they would let a lot of those stuff just go by for normal people, but since I have a what's called a compromised immune system, my body is not able to fight that naturally as someone who is healthy. 2 days later, they diagnosed me with shingles, and we're still figuring out what's wrong with my chest. Anyways, after 4 days of antibiotics, medication, everything, I slowly started to recover, and now today I was discharged and able to go home. People who have compromised immune systems are the ones that are going to lose the most. If we're kicked off health insurance, we won't be able to go anywhere. The ER is not the solution. Having a place to go to, like City of Hope or my main doctor, where my oncology sees me every 3 months, where everything's being tested, is the way to prevent me from having to go to an ER and be an expense.
I believe everybody deserves healthcare, and not only because it's a human right, but because it is, I think you protect the whole population. When everybody has the same level of healthcare, we're all kept healthy. Because if you have a group of people that don't have access to healthcare, that hurts everyone. So healthcare is important, because if we're not healthy, how could we go to school? How could we graduate? Our goal at Cal State LA in the Dreamer Center is to graduate our students so they could go out and be productive in the world and give back to the world. How could we do that if we don't have access to the basics of healthcare?
It's important for people like myself to get coverage because we can do a lot. We offer society a lot. I was thinking to myself that I overwork myself because I feel like I need to prove my existence to people. But I've been thinking, and I'm like, no, like being healthy has offered me an opportunity to continue and to help others and to, make sure that undocumented students get into college, make sure that I live my best life regardless of my immigration status. And that includes my best life with health care treatment and access. There's a lot of uncertainty in the future. Sometimes I don't think about it. But I must remain hopeful because that's all I ever known. And because everyone deserves a chance to live and thrive.